Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Loremasters of the Absurd, the podcast where we cover the absurd films of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. As always, with your host, Loremaster Jeff, myself, Loremaster Eli. How are you doing today, Jeff?
Not too bad.
Not
Not
too
bad
bad?
at all.
Do you feel better than you did last week?
Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling better
Yeah,
for sure. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Spring is in the air.
Mm-hmm.
The weather's
Yeah,
starting to warm up.
Weather's nice. We live in the daylight savings area, so it actually stays light a little longer. So that's pretty nice. Weather's starting to get warm.
Start getting a little warm.
Enjoying it. It's the little peaks of spring coming out.
Yeah. Easter is almost upon us.
No, I don't care about Easter.
You don't care about finding eggs?
No. That is, I could literally not care less about that.
But there's normally candy in them, guy.
Nope. No,
Wow.
don't care about those.
Were you one of those weird kids that preferred to hunt the real eggs when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God. What would you do with them?
You hard boil them.
Oh,
and
you eat them? Oh my God. They're out there laid in the grass and stuff.
Well, they have shells on them. I mean, it's not like
It don't matter.
bananas are in trees and you still eat those. You pull
But that's different. They're not on the ground,
You pull the banana shell off, you know what I mean?
Okay, for the banana shell? You mean banana peel?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just telling you, right? It's the rule everybody knows. Once it hits the ground, it's no good.
5 seconds.
Those eggs are on the ground longer than 5 seconds. Bananas, right? They're in trees. They're safe in the air, free floating.
So you're telling me they come out of a chicken's ass and that's okay, but if they're laying on the ground, that's not okay.
You can wash them off as soon as they come out of the chicken's butt.
You can wash them off when they're laying on the ground. So,
but like you got them dyed. There's ink in them now.
You don't eat the ink. You dye the shells and you take.
Yeah, but what happens if it seeps in?
Who does that? What kind of?
Sometimes people are you using? Sometimes people crack them.
I guess. Well, you don't eat the cracked ones. How about that?
It just seems dangerous. Just seems dangerous.
All right.
Just anyways, this is our last week for our March Madness episodes. So we're gonna talk about another film of Descent of the Madness, or was it Truth Leading to Madness? I'm sure we'll get into it. But tonight we'll be talking about the 90s horror flick with a Mr. Kevin Bacon, which I think is our first time talking about a Kevin Bacon movie, right?
I do believe so. Yeah. I don't think we've come across one with him yet.
No, the old Baconator, as he likes to be called. We're talking about Stir of Echoes. Ooh.
Yep.
Spooky. But before we get into it, figure we'll read the back of the VHS cover. I got another complaint about the back of this VHS cover, Jeff.
Okay. What's that?
Same one as last time. Who is picking these? And they're like, hey, I'm going to make really weird grayish yellow font. And on the background image, I'm going to make it just streaks of this same color. So it's stupidly, ridiculously hard
the text
to read the back of this fucking cover. That's all I want to know. Who makes these decisions?
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Like, I mean, am I psychic? Do I see it to be on so I can read the back of this fucking thing? So I'm going to try to read it. Tom Witzke is a blue-collar worker, a family man, the most ordinary guy you can meet, who is about to be plunged into a shattering encounter with another world. After he is hypnotized at a neighborhood party, Tom changes. He sees things he can't explain. As the horrific visions intensify, Tom realizes they are echoes of a crime calling to be solved. But when his nightmares begin to come true, Tom wants out. He desperately tries to rid himself of his eerie, unwanted powers, only to be seized by an irresistible compulsion to dig deeper and deeper into the mystery. When at last he unearths the truth, it will draw him into a long-buried secret of a ghastly crime, a vengeful spirit, and the lethal price of laying the spirit to rest. I hate how many fucking puns are in the back of that you don't understand until you read the movie.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate it. I this may be the most I may hate the back of this VHS cover more than I hate anything else in this world.
It's one. It's one of the worst ones. Yeah. Out of all we've done, I think that one makes the least sense because you know why it's so bad is because they use a bunch of words and it seems like it should make sense, but then you watch the movie and it doesn't make any sense.
No,
Like it doesn't make any
you
sense
know
based on
why?
the
Because that guy's like, hey, do you think I can get 11 puns into this
yeah, yeah.
description?
But not even, I mean, like she wasn't even a vengeful spirit. She was just
No,
like,
really.
find out who killed me. That's like she didn't kill anybody. Like she wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it
Nope.
wasn't like she was a
She didn't even
she
hurt
wasn't
anybody.
even like she wasn't even like one of them lazy ghosts or anything. You know what I mean?
No, well,
She's
whoa,
just
hold on. Whoa, don't you bring up the, you know what? We'll get into ghost rules, I'm sure. But no, you're right. But yeah, that was a terrible one. So I have to ask Jeff, this is your first time watching. What'd you think?
No, I watched this movie a while back. Probably when it came out, maybe a little after. Um I it was okay. I don't think it wasn't as like I thought I remembered it being way more scary or like creeping me out a lot more than it did this time. Um, but I mean, it was okay. I think it after just in recent succession, watching this and watching Sixth Sense, there was some similarities and one was notably better than the other. So so they were both kind of the same like premise, you know what I mean? But not exactly. Well, no, they were kind of basically the same, weren't they? But yeah, I mean, it was fine, I think. So what about you?
um, it was weird. I remember liking this movie a lot, but it's been a
Mm-hmm.
long time since I watched it. And when I sat down and watched it with Mary, like I was like, there are large parts of this I don't remember. And
Yeah,
like,
you know what? I'm the same way. Like I
yeah,
like there was a lot of this movie where I like some key story points. I was like,
yeah,
what does that mean? Because I know I've seen it before. Because I remember the whole like weird shaking thing when the
yeah,
ghost lady's and that used to freak me out. You know what I mean? Where
right.
like when she's walking, she's doing that weird like
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 she's
the
an animatronic.
yeah, like
Yeah.
she should be at Sacho Pizza. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot of this
Yeah.
movie. I'm kind of in the same boat where I was like, that what's happening now? Like that doesn't I didn't don't
Right.
remember that part. You know. So.
The weird thing though is like, and then like as I got probably like the last fourth of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
it hit me like brick, and I remembered, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. This is what happened. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I became kind of bored because like
Mhm.
uh there's something and I'm sure we'll talk about with Harpo, but like you're very right in that this is very similar to Sixth Sense.
Mhm.
And like there are some like cool images in this movie, and like there are parts of me where like the big difference between this and the Sixth Sense I find is the Sixth Sense. I can keep watching and I'll be intrigued because I always tend to find something because like he flushed out that story where there's all these clues and things hidden and like try to catch it.
Right.
None of that is
This
in
this
this.
is pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's like watching this movie kind of what's going to happen at the end. Like
Right.
yeah, I mean there's a little twist at the end, but
But it's one of those twists that once that twist is unraveled, it's like, okay.
right. Like you knew like he was gonna find this girl. Like you just knew
Yeah.
it, right? Because they telegraphed it the whole way through the movie. Like
Right.
it wasn't like there was this weird, super mystery about it. I mean, so I mean, basically, right? So I don't even care about spoiler alerts. So this guy's in this house, right? And you know, it was weird. The time frame didn't make a whole lot of sense to me either. And maybe I missed it because like supposedly the whole murder took place 6 months ago.
Mhm.
You know
Well,
what
at
I mean?
first, the first half of the movie, they said a year ago. She disappeared a year ago. And then the last half, they're like, oh,
They were
this happened in
six
six
months,
months.
yeah, because
And you're like,
and I
was it a
didn't.
year or
I mean,
six months?
did I miss the part where they said they were like renting that house off of that guy or something? Like I didn't catch that part until
Yeah, that
the end.
happened at the
Whenever
barbecue. Like in the
okay,
barbecue with
okay.
like the people getting the fight. It's like this
Oh,
throwaway
okay.
line.
Yeah, yeah, right. They didn't make any type of big deal about it, right?
Yeah.
Because Like they just show him in this house, and um, Kevin Bacon's kind of a dick because he's like, I don't know, a mechanic or something like that. And
And a rock star.
what's that?
He's a mechanic and a rock star.
I don't. Well, yeah. What
Because
he's
I'm
the
getting he's mad when he finds out his wife, which this part literally makes no
right. Why
sense
did they
and
even
doesn't
bother
matter to
bringing
the
up the
movie.
pregnancy? See, he literally had nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
And
Not one other time. Not one other time did they mention she was
the
pregnant or
only
even
thing
allude to it.
is
It
when
was
she
like,
was like, "I'm pregnant," and he goes, "Oh man, the band and I were supposed to go on tour." He goes, "I'll just cancel the tour now because we're having a kid." She goes, "Okay." That was
I
it.
thought. See, I thought he was just joking. Like I didn't. I don't know, but
No, because they
you know what I
like
mean.
have
Like,
pictures of him in the band,
oh,
like when
really?
he's like
Yeah.
sitting there listening and playing his guitar.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like that whole like little thing they set up, which
Hmm.
seems like it's gonna be more important than
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
it turns to be
You know
like.
what?
It's
You know
nothing.
what? I think would have made this movie at least a little bit. And like I said, it wasn't an awful movie.
No,
It was just very like average. You know what I mean? Like everything about it was just average. It was like, okay, it has a story, some things are happening, one or two weird. There was a couple good like kind of horror like scare things in it, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you know, images and mirrors and like that kind of stuff. But I think what really hurt this movie for me was the choice of people that they had playing parts. That lady that was hypnotized him
Oh, I
was
hated her.
so annoying. She was the
I
and
hated her.
his and for his wife annoyed me so much. Like why in these movies there's always like the wife or whatever that's like no matter what happens she doesn't believe like she literally was at the cemetery talking like her kids and this guy comes up and he's like, oh, your kid has the gift and so does your husband and blah 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 blah. So she believes him enough to go to that guy's house and he explains the whole thing to her, but then she's still like, oh, why are you digging this hole, what are you doing this for, blah, 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 blah. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm like, why
He
is there
he
always that
knew her
character?
grandma died before
Right.
she found
Yeah.
out.
But like nothing he did what made her even remotely believe it. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't logically make any sense. Like she had to believe enough to go to talk to that guy, which that was a whole weird thing too. Like I don't
Like didn't go
understand.
anywhere.
Was it supposed to be a house full of people that could see dead people,
Yeah,
or like
yeah, they're like a
like
club.
I don't, you know, was Bruce Willis in there? Like I don't know what they I don't know what was happening or
No,
whatever.
it was a group. It was a. He said, like the guy said, it was like a group that get together to talk about the X-ray vision. He called it.
Right,
He
but
goes,
why were
but
they so like? Why didn't they want the door open? Like
he
they were like
said
freaking
some of
out. Like
them it makes some of them paranoid because they don't know.
yeah,
So he's like some of them it's hard for them to know what's
I don't know.
here
That
and
whole
what's
part was
there.
just that whole part
Yeah, it
was
didn't really
dumb.
make
Like
sense.
there was no reason to even have it in there because you're right. It literally went nowhere. It was like,
No.
oh, there's a whole bunch of other people that have this same thing. So instead of being like, okay, well, let's have Kevin Bacon talk to them and get a little more insight, they're just like, no, okay, no, I don't believe anything. I'm your wife. I don't. What are you digging up the house for? Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Right. Well, I was telling Mary like the two most like the or I don't know if annoying is the right. Yeah, you know what?
the
Annoying
most.
is the right word. The
Yeah,
two most annoying things, like the two things that bothered me
yeah.
about this movie the most this time around is one, her like sister friend who
I
hypnotized her, right?
hated her. Like I
Because
hated her so much. Like
she's like, I literally opened a door in your mind. I caused this, and then proceeded to talk shit on him the whole movie about how he's like lazy, like oh he's just sleeping, he's having all these problems. I know I opened a door and now he's seeing dead people and like whatever, and like I did
yeah,
that
yeah,
without his
yeah.
consent, but like whatever, he should go to
Ah,
work.
but it's fine. He should go to work. And her
Yeah.
voice, oh my god, I hated that lady so much.
And then at one point he's like, you need to fix me. She's like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know how. Like you just need to ignore it. He like you
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
watched him like that thing where like he's like
He's
suffocating, like he
suffocating. Yeah,
turns
yeah,
gray, and
yeah,
like you watch him like kind of become possessed, and you're like, you just need to ignore it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
what? And then you're right, his whole wife, like she keeps seeing proof that this is
Right,
real.
like
Like he
legitimate
knew that
proof. And
kid
she's
shot
like,
himself.
what are you digging up these holes for? And
Right,
don't you talk to me like that. I don't like it's like, what do
right.
you like the
He
whole even the whole babysitter thing.
she wa-
Okay, that kid knew that girl's name who had got killed six whatever, however many question
yeah.
mark months ago.
Right.
Like depending on when you ask him in the movie. Like
Right.
but that like okay.
And then like the
And
babysitter
she's like,
took
oh
their
well,
kid.
they have private jokes. They talk to each other. I don't like
I
this.
mean,
It's
like
like that lady was so awful.
you're
Like
this babysitter stole your kid and your husband use psychic ability
yeah,
to
to
find
find
him.
her. Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what
And
do you mean? Like, I don't. And then she, like that cemetery scene. You're right. Like, like then that guy comes. He's like, "Oh, I know your son has the gift. I have the gift." Knows her son's name. Knows her husband's
right.
name.
Yeah,
Her
yeah.
son knows his name. Like, she watches this like big psychic psych off between
Uh-huh.
these things. You're right. Goes there and he's like, "Oh, this is what happens. This is all real." And she
Yeah.
sees stuff, and then she's just like, "I just think we should not do any of this. Ignore it.
Yeah,
Like, this
yeah.
isn't."
Why are you digging in the yard?
She
Like,
even
you know what I
walks
mean?
in the one scene where he's like being possessed again. He's like
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
air, like turning gray in his
yeah.
knees. And she's like, "Yeah, I don't think you should do any of this."
What are
Like
you
he
doing?
has a choice.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this
Yeah,
spirit is like
that
forcing
was
him throughout
that
this
bothered me a
movie.
lot. I think that really took me out of it. I think
Well, he just didn't
uh
make sense. Like if you look at the Sixth Sense, right? I guess we're gonna
huh.
go down this road.
This
Like,
movie, like I said, this is not a scene for scene, but like this is the same premise as the Sixth Sense, right? And like
except
the
right,
whole like ghost talking to you thing is kind of that it's been done a lot, but like
yeah,
this is very like the little kid has all these powers that nobody else
right.
has, and like he's literally like I was waiting for what's his
I,
name what's the kid's name from
Zachary or
well,
Jake,
yeah, whatever the
Jake.
kid's name from Sixth Sense to be like, hey, I
Oh
have the
yeah.
power too, and like or this lazy ghost to push a
Oh
videotape
my
out or
god.
something. You know what I mean?
Well, you
But
know what? Like, I think the difference was like Sixth Sense, right? Like,
it
the
was good.
mom did well that, but like the mom didn't believe him, but she had no reason to because she couldn't see anything.
Right. There was just
Like,
some
there
weird
was
stuff that happened, like that she
right,
could that you could feasibly like say, okay, well, this is like a trick or like, whatever. But like the stuff that happened in this movie is you can't ignore it. But
right,
somehow this lady chose to. And it wasn't like she was like in some kind of weird denial. Or they didn't present it like that anyway.
right.
She was just like, well, stop doing that. Like,
Like,
you
he
know,
had a choice.
just
Where like
stop.
he
Just
couldn't
I'm
control
tired of your
his
no quit being I'm tired of your nonsense. It's like,
like he couldn't. He was hypnotized. A door was left open. He had no control over this,
yeah.
and like he was like going in and out of like these like psychic visions
Mhm.
and like normal. It's like the dude's basically like like can't tell what's going on. He has no control of this. And she's just like, you need to stop.
Yeah, just what are you
Just
doing,
stop.
guy? You know what? Like the supporting cast in this movie wasn't good. Like Kevin Bacon, if he was in this movie all by himself, maybe have the kid in there a little bit. Because once again, the kid really didn't do anything either. He was just like, oh, I had a couple things to kind of allude to what was happening, but other than that, he didn't do anything. And that kid was a bad actor too. Like, I mean, he's a little kid, but like he was still bad. Like he was
Yeah.
just like, I'm like, hey Jennifer or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, like why are you in? Like they could have literally got rid of his whole family, and this movie, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't
Well,
have
like
mattered because that's how like awful
you
they
know what
were.
the thing that bothered me about the
You know
kid?
what? I take that back. This movie was bad. Like I
Like,
said, it was kind of like a middle. It's not. It was bad. Like upon thinking about it further, it was bad. Wasn't a good movie. Like
you know what? Like kind of like the thing too about that kid that like frustrates me, right?
yeah,
The kid's like what, 4 or 5 in this
yeah,
movie?
I don't, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
And you would think he was a Jedi master, knowing how all
yeah,
this gifts works
yeah, yeah.
and like what's going on. Tells dad like it's fine, you have the vision, and like it's like if I was 5 years old and I was seeing fucking ghosts who were
Yeah, yeah.
like telling me I had to do shit, I would not be like, this is all great. This
Well,
is
you know
how
what's
it
weird?
works.
That's another weird point. So he had a grasp of what was happening, but
Right.
he couldn't tell people what was like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like anytime they asked him, he's just like, I like dump trucks or whatever. Like
Well, he's like, we can't talk about it in front of mommy. It's like, all right, well, she left.
yeah.
Can you like,
It's like, what are you
can you
talking
talk to
about?
this fucking ghost? And
Yeah, yeah.
this movie could have literally because he's like talking to her
Uh huh.
and like explaining things the whole 15 minutes. This literally movie could last 30 minutes because all he literally goes, well, where are you buried? She'd been like, fucking basement wall. He'd be like, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah. Right. Yeah.
dad,
Okay.
she's in the basement wall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Instead, it was like, I can't talk about it for a mom now. Well,
Mhm.
your mom's not here.
It's just weird because like, and what kind of ghost was she? So like they made it way more ominous than it was. So the scene wherever his wife goes into the basement with the pilot light,
Yeah.
and all she does is turn the light out, and the lady bumps her head. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, this diabolical
She
ghost here.
bumps
Like,
her head in the same spot she had got hit in the head.
okay, well, whatever. Whoa.
And you have to
Yeah.
wait, dude, you forgot about the worst thing she did as a vengeful spirit. She made her hot water cold.
Well, hey, you know what I mean? Like,
And like, I'm not saying, like, here's what's weird about this movie too, because
because
like,
they even said, they're like, well, if you don't do what she wants, she won't go away. Like, oh, so I'm just gonna bump my head for the rest of my life? Is that like, you know what I
eventually
mean?
you'll
Like,
get
I'll
concussion.
never be able to get a hot bath again. Like,
Well, like, that's what's kind of weird because like they present it like, and like I'm not saying like it had to be like the sixth sense or the spirits would grab and
right?
hurt you,
Yeah,
but at the
yeah.
same time, like it's weird because like they presented her as like this menacing, vengeful
Right. Yeah.
spirit,
This like
and like
malevolently, you know.
she kind like and they
It
like
even
don't
says it on the back. That's why I said it even says it on the back of the DVD
right.
or the VHS cover. And she wasn't malevolent. Like, she's just trying to get somebody to like
She
find
didn't
out who
even like
killed her. Like,
help him when like
yeah,
those
yeah.
people that you find out end up killing her, like they attacked them. She didn't even fucking help him.
Right. Yeah. She couldn't even be bothered.
No,
Lady Ghost.
she's like, well, the wall's open, my body's
Yeah,
exposed to
we're
regular
good.
air.
We're fine.
Sorry, I got you murdered, bro.
Yeah, we're good.
Like it's just like you're like, all right, and like like it's weird because like I said, I remember liking this movie a lot, and like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't hate it, but there are definitely better movies out there,
Mhm.
and like the things that I still really liked, I don't know if it's enough to save it for me where I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
want to
yeah,
keep watching
yeah.
it again.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much in the same camp. Like I said, there wasn't anything drawing me back to this movie. You
Right.
know, like it doesn't do any of the tropes well enough to justify me watching this
The the,
movie again.
the
Like,
only and like you're right, and like what's weird the thing I say like there's things that are really cool to see, but
mhm.
like it's not enough that would warrant rewatching a bunch of
I
times as
think
the
I
Sixth
think
Sense does.
I think one of the big things is, once again, so what I remember distinctively about this movie was the way that ghost moved,
Yeah,
right? And I remember being like freaked out. It's kind of like the Matrix, right? So whenever you saw the Matrix for the first time and Neo's like dodging those bullets, you're like, wow, that's awesome. And then like a million other movies did the same thing. Now,
right,
if you see it, you're like, oh, okay, that's a cool special effect. You know, like
right.
it's not groundbreaking anymore. It's not doesn't draw
Nah,
you kind of in as much as as I think it did back then. I
right.
think that's probably my take
Well,
on it.
and
Because
not
the
too, but
story was whatever, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it was,
Well, but even now, like some of that imagery, like there's not enough of it. I think that would
right.
make it.
I remembered
There's
a
not
way
even
more. I
enough
thought
of
there
it.
was like a lot more of that in this movie, and I even remember when we started talking about doing it. I'm like, oh, remember, I was just like, Ghost does that weird thing, and like, but
Yeah,
like it was only in there that one time, and I remembered. I for some reason my mind like had it doing it a lot more. You're right.
right.
Yeah, like there was the Ghost was like, I don't know, dancing around in every scene or
Yeah,
something. I don't
but
know,
no,
but
like you really only see her what like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie, and like a couple of them, like one of them she's sitting on a bathtub and she's like, one she's like
yeah.
standing behind
It's
her, turn
yeah,
the light,
it's
and you're
really
like,
it's really only whenever she's in the open room there
yeah,
that you see her fully walking like that, you know.
yeah,
And but yeah, you're right. The rest of it was very like this scene I got back here. She was just looking at a light like a moth for some
yeah,
reason, you know.
right, and
She's
like
like,
the
this bitch is bumping her head for sure. She's just like a light bulb.
right, like it's crazy, and like the only other like scene in this movie that I really like is, or a couple scenes is, I
Yeah.
do like the way they show being hypnotized. Is that like theater?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that was
that,
pretty
like
cool. Yeah, yeah.
that was cool. And like some of the effects they do, I hypnotize.
Yeah.
And you see
Yeah,
the theater, and like I mean,
it's
those are
weird
cool.
because
But
there was some
like,
pretty cool effects, and there was some like
yeah,
not so good. Like when he found her body in the wall, I thought it was One-Eyed Willie. That's what I thought was in the wall.
it
Like,
did not. Her dead body did not look
yeah,
good.
I don't understand like how you can do one thing so good and then like a practical effect. They're just like,
Right.
well, we got One-Eyed Willie from the Goonies laying around anywhere. We're just gonna toss him in the wall there. Maybe it
Like
was lighting. And that's the other thing too. If she'd only been dead 6 months, why was she a skeleton?
right.
Like,
Well, I mean, that could happen, but like I wouldn't think it would happen like that in a
Yeah.
damn basement.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was just gonna say. She's in a damp, dark place.
Yeah,
Like, why would she be a skeleton? It doesn't, you know what I mean?
she
Like,
was like a mummy.
yeah, yeah. Well, I was like, did they?
But like, you know what's weird
Is
though,
this
right? Here's where it gets weird.
Tutankhamun? Is that who this
She
is?
becomes a mummy, right?
Yeah.
But that kid's hair that she pulls out still look like it was
Still
just pulled out.
completely, yeah, yeah,
Still look like it
yeah.
was
There's a
just
lot
pulled
of
out.
problems with this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you know what's crazy? Like I was thinking too, like her body looks so bad, and I was like, man, I was like, you would fear like they didn't really do anything with crazy with like the ghost images, and it's not like they had to put a lot of prosthetics on her
yeah,
that they
yeah.
could put some of the budget into like her dead body. But I just looked up what the budget was, and it explains a lot.
Really, really.
The budget was only 12 million.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of low for the for that era too. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense. But like I said, the rest of the stuff was pretty decent. You know, I
right.
mean, a big chunk of that had to be Kevin Bacon, right? Because he
Oh, I
was
bet you
still
he
pretty.
was
He was
the
still pretty big at that time. So,
I bet you he was the majority of
well, there's nobody else in this movie that. Well,
I mean,
the guy that
like
played his friend or whatever,
that Kevin Dunn.
heavy set guy. Yeah, he's been in a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. Other than that, I didn't really recognize anybody.
That
You know.
well,
That
that
annoying girl was in stuff, but
she was in stuff.
nothing I care
Lisa,
to watch.
the babysitter, she was one of the stars of Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, but she was only in there for like 10 minutes or
What, the
whatever.
movie?
So
Yeah, and
yeah,
like you know, the
yeah,
see her like she played their sister or whatever. That guy,
mhm.
the girl played his wife. I thought I saw her in a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, but
She was in a bunch of stuff, but if I'm being honest,
right, nothing. Yeah, she's just kind of. And yeah,
nothing.
you know the other thing too is like
She's in D2
that.
Mighty Ducks.
The other thing is too like was this girl was supposed to be like a little slow or whatever, right, or something or what?
That's
Like
what they allude to that she had some kind
but
of mental disorder, but like when
it
you
didn't
see
really.
the flashback, she just seemed like a normal teenager.
Yeah, yeah, it
And like
was
once
even
again,
even right. Yeah, that man, they put a lot of breadcrumbs out there and didn't do anything
yeah,
with
like
them.
that's
You
what's
know?
weird because once again they make a big deal. Like the whole first half of the movie, there's this big deal about her being slow, but then like
Right, because
when
that's the whole fight at the thing, right? Because that guy calls her an R word, you know what I mean? And he's like,
right,
"We don't say that, don't you know what I mean?"
right,
Like, and they get into a big fight about it or whatever, you know what I
right,
mean? Like,
but then like that just gets dropped and like there's nothing. And like that's what's weird. There's a lot of these like weird plot threads in this movie that they do stuff with, and they just like drop it, and it's just
mhm.
like you're like, well, what became of this?
Yeah,
It's
and
just
even like whenever she like her spirit was like leaving, like they
mhm.
didn't. It was weird. It felt out of place because she like puts her coat on, and like there was never any significance with that coat. They made it appear like this coat was some kind. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like it was just weird. There was a lot of weird stuff that, like, like he could have found the coat first, and then like you know what I mean? Like I
right.
just they just didn't do anything that made any sense really. It was like everything was like they had a basic story and they're like, well, if we sprinkle all this other stuff on, maybe people won't
Well,
notice.
dude, it like I'll tell you what didn't even make sense, right? When he like rents a jackhammer and he's jackhammering in the basement.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody in the neighborhood knows this, right? His landlord, who was one of the people that hid the body,
His landlord's son or whatever, right? That's who
right?
saw.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in the
son.
his dad helped him hide the body.
Yeah.
There's one scene where that landlord guy is across the street in his like garden shed and
Mhm.
hears him jackhammering the basement. He just goes, "It's a rental," and then walks away. But like if you and like I get like you're trying to like keep this twist, but at the same time, like then I'm sitting back thinking like, well, why did like if I thought, oh, I hit a body down there and he's jackhammering in the basement, I should
Even
probably
that,
just
if
stop him.
somebody's jackhammering in my rental property, I'd probably be like, "Hey, guy, what's just what's happening?"
Yeah,
Just casually see what's happening, not just be like, "Oh well,
like it literally he raised his hand, goes, "It's a rental."
yeah,
And you're
yeah."
like,
Why bother? Yeah, like
okay,
why bother doing that? What was the point of? Yeah, there was a lot of pointless scenes, like a
right.
lot of pointless interactions with stuff.
And
Yeah.
like I forgot this movie was based off a book. And
Oh,
like
really?
now, yeah, now I kind of want to read the book to see if like a
I
lot of
feel
that
like it.
stuff
That
went
yeah, I mean, I feel
somewhere
like
in
it
the
could have been better, right? Like
yeah, because like I'm like, did a lot of that
because
go
this really
somewhere?
felt it. Once again, this really felt bare bones. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was a main story plot, and like all this other stuff didn't really have anything to do with it. or it just wasn't tied in well. Maybe that's the, you know what I mean, the 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 major issue.
Holy shit! The guy that wrote the book
Uh-huh.
is the same guy that wrote I Am Legend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, he wrote a bunch of like creepy-ish
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Some he also wrote a bunch of weird TV shows. Wrote it for Alfred Hitchcock. Oh my god, he wrote the screenplay for Jaws 3D.
Oh, wow. Wow, this guy, quite a
That
pedigree.
Dennis Quaid's big movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's I feel bad talking bad, but I kind of want to get this book now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
to
mean, it can't
see.
be, like I said, I hate that. Like, this movie wasn't awful. It just wasn't great. You know
It,
what I mean? Like I think it falls below standard for me now. Yeah,
yeah,
like I said, really thinking about it, it's yeah, it's not a great movie.
you know what?
There's a the
It's
problem
one
is,
of
once again, there's a lot of
right,
movies that have the same premise that are better than this movie.
right.
You know?
But like that's what's weird though. Like and like the weird thing is like in my eyes, like do I hate the fact I watched it? No.
No, right?
Like
Yeah,
it's fine if you like ghost movie. I would say this is probably one of the less lame ghost movies out there because there's a lot of
yeah,
lame
yeah.
ghost movies, you know.
Well, yeah, yeah.
But like
A lot of lame ghosts too.
yeah, like in terms of like a horror movie and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's fine.
I mean, like I said, they didn't go overboard with like the weird jumps, and then like they didn't telegraph a lot of stuff. You know, like,
Right.
I take that back. There was some stuff that was kind of, but like I said, the weird like scenes that they used, kind of jump scares where she's in the background or whatever. They did that pretty well. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you got a real Kevin Bacon did really well in this movie. Like, you
Yeah.
got a sense
I
of like that he was really like losing it. You know what I mean? Like, he was for sure did an excellent job at that. You know, like I
yeah,
said,
100%.
I really feel like the supporting cast in this movie was just dog shit. You know, like the kid, his wife, that hypnotizer lady, the pointless neighbors. Like, it, you know what I mean? Like, even the two kids that killed that lady were just awful. Like, they were bad. They were just like, oh,
Right.
we killed you. And then like, even like when she's like laying there and they're like, oh, is she dead? And they're just like, oh, she's dead. Like,
We killed her. Gross.
yeah, yeah.
What are
It's
we
like,
gonna do? I don't know.
yeah. It's like,
Yeah, bye.
yeah, they weren't even like panicking or anything. Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
And
It's
like I don't
really,
know if and like I was sitting there thinking like did maybe it wasn't adapted. Maybe it was like one of those things where like the book is much better than the
yeah,
movie.
yeah. I
Have
mean, I
right.
can,
But like I was looking at this director, he hasn't directed a whole lot.
uh-huh.
Uh the only other big thing that he directed that you might know of is Secret Window.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
directed that.
That's with Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But this dude is a screenwriter and he's wrote some like big goddamn scripts. And like I'm kind of
yeah.
surprised. Like I'm really kind of surprised that like they
This
could have
didn't turn
fixed
out.
some of
Yeah,
this. Cause like,
yeah.
dude, he wrote the script for Toy Soldiers,
Okay.
Jurassic Park. He was one of the script
Hmm.
writers in Jurassic Park. Or the screenplay. He wrote the screenplay for him. Uh Mission Impossible, second Jurassic Park,
Wow. Yeah. Some like
Spider-Man,
big. Yeah.
uh War of the World with Tom Cruise, a bunch of the
Mhm.
Indiana Jones, Angels and Demons.
Is this? I mean, is this movie like a
It's a
well liked movie?
in the
I
horror
don't know. Yeah.
community,
Yeah.
it is a kind of like one of those like kind of beloved films
Right.
in the horror
Right.
community. And like I like a lot of horror movies and like I mean I like my
I don't
whole
know.
life, but like
Maybe I
I
just
don't really
missed
care.
it. Like I said,
I don't
I
I think if like if you have like strong nostalgia for this, I could see people, but like because I like if you're young, I could see this being a really creepy movie.
right, right,
And
and
that's
that's.
probably why I liked
I
it
feel
when I was
like,
younger.
honestly, that I don't know if it happens as much as maybe I think, but like I feel like there's a lot of people that watch some of these movies and that they're just going off of nostalgia, you know?
Right.
Because like I said, when we were like, oh, let's do Star of Echoes and blah blah blah, I was like, oh, that movie was really good, you know? I was like, I
Right.
remember the weird ghosts and like, whatever. But then, like I said, yeah, you're right. When I watched it, I was just like, what is happening, Kevin Bacon?
Right.
What are you,
It, like, and like thing is too, like I
It'd have been
definitely
better if like one of the Tremors worms came up from the
yeah.
basement. Like,
And like I definitely recognize it because like there's these two horror movies. One's called Ticks and one's called
yeah, yeah,
Mosquitoes.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Dog shit. I love those movies. I still like to watch them. Dog
Yeah,
shit. But like
right,
I when I was a
right,
kid, they were like, oh my god, like because I live in the country and you always get bit by like ticks and mosquitoes, whatever. Like these were giant ones. It was creepy and stuff, you know. Like now as an adult, like these are dog shit, but like I remember like liking them when I was a kid, and like
right. Yeah, yeah.
I know they're on our list, and I haven't watched them in a couple years. Definitely afraid to watch them now. Just with the trend we tend to go in this show, but
Well, I mean, you got to run of them, and that's why we do it, right? That's
this
why we do it, you know.
this
So
this, but yeah, I gotta ask, is this your favorite Kevin Bacon movie?
no, no, no. There's, I mean, this is. I've seen a lot of Kevin Bacon movies. It's probably my. No, I don't want to say my least favorite, but like, it's yeah, it's not my favorite. So
Uh,
it's in there. It's like all right, it's Kevin Bacon movie, you know. So
yeah.
I mean, like I said, he's a really good actor. Like he just,
Oh
you know,
yeah, for sure.
he his back had to be hurting after this one because he was carrying it the whole time. You know.
This was definitely one you could tell that they're like, we need one big name.
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
Yeah,
who can we
yeah.
get? They're like, Kevin Bacon's free that weekend. Because like even like that, like I mean, granted, the Jennifer Morrison played the dead girl. Like after this, she went on to be famous. She was in House and
Mm-hmm.
that Disney TV show that was real life, whatever it was called. You know what
I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
about? It
No,
was
I have no
like
idea.
oh, what the hell is that show called?
Real
Once Upon
life
a
Disney.
Time. Yeah, it was like that TV show Once Upon a Time. Remember that was on like for years. It was like all the
Nope.
Disney characters, but in real life, they're all like fighting Rumpelstiltskin. It was like the Avengers with Disney characters, this TV
Really?
show.
No, I have no
Yeah.
idea what that
And
even
like
is.
she played like she was the daughter of some princess or
Hmm.
wizard or something.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Like they were fighting, yeah. Like fairy tales are real in this main town, and like she's whatever. And like her sister was like Snow White or something, Snow White's daughter or something dumb.
I don't know what that even is. So.
Well, yeah, but like we really houses are a big thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but like even that Kevin Dunn at that point, I don't think he'd been in a whole lot at that point, had he?
99. He was in. I mean, he's once again.
Yeah,
He's one of those actors that like gets work. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
he's in a fair amount of movies.
Oh
Um.
yeah, he. Oh my God, Christ, he's been in a bunch of stuff, but it's all like little
Yeah.
small stuff. Like
Right. Yeah.
he plays
He's.
small roles, I should say, in a lot of
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, like Kevin Bacon, like yeah, you're definitely his back had been hurting, but like it like for 12 million, fine little movie.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm thoroughly convinced to your point that what 9 million went to Kevin Bacon
Probably. Yeah. Hopefully, they
because
didn't pay that kid anything. So,
I'm sure they had to pay him something.
yeah.
Because like I just
Just,
don't like there wasn't. I'm
just
like thinking there wasn't really like a whole lot of effects in this movie, like
no,
for her
not
ghost
really.
stuff, except for that one thing where they did her like shaky and like
I
oh
mean,
Kevin
there were
Bacon breathing out steam or
right, right. Yeah, but yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of special effects or digital effects or anything like that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
um, most of them were practical. So.
Man, you're right. It's kind of crazy. Like it's especially like I was sitting there. This is real close to Sixth Sense. But I think it's one of those weird things, right? Did the book come out before Sixth Sense? Sixth Sense was what 98. It came out in 99. Stir of Echoes was written in. Let me look. It might be a chicken and egg thing.
Uh
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Stir of Echoes was written in 58.
wow, wow. There wasn't a book for Sixth Sense, right?
No.
Well,
So,
well,
huh.
Well, Sixth Sense did it better, so I don't
Much better.
know.
I
Yeah,
mean, they changed some. There was no like hypnosis in the Sixth Sense. Well, actually, there was that one scene, but like
yeah,
he
yeah.
already had the powers.
Right,
But I
right.
guess so did this kid in this
That
movie.
that like this kid was the kid from the Sixth Sense. Like,
Just bad.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, okay.
He
You know
just
what?
wasn't Haley Joe Osment. Like,
All right, we're gonna have this debate now, right?
okay.
I want to throw a couple points
Hmm.
that you made during the Sixth Sense episode
Okay.
right in your face. All right.
Yeah.
One about how Haley Joel Osment, I believe you called him whiny and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but compared to this kid, I mean, at least Haley Joel Osment was getting stuff done with them ghosts. This kid didn't really do nothing.
I don't know if did don't think I disparaged Haley Joe Osment.
A little bit
I
because you
I
were
was more
like,
upset about the ghosts than anything. Like,
yeah, but then you were like, make fun because he's like run away, and then about the one part how he's like he would talk to some ghosts but be afraid of others. Like you kind of
all
stumped
right,
on him a
all
little
right.
bit. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I'm just saying, compared
all
to this
right.
kid,
Yeah,
Haley
he
Jaws was doing
yeah,
work,
yeah. He's might as well be Egon from the Ghostbusters
Yeah.
compared to this kid.
Haley Joel Osment had no answers. He was figuring it
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
This kid
yeah.
had all of the answers
All the
apparently,
yeah,
did
yeah,
nothing
just
with it.
the yeah, he's like, nah, I'm not even gonna write them down. Like
And then the second thing that I want to bring up, right? The what we call the infamous lazy ghost situation, right?
yeah. Hmm.
If we're comparing Ghost, that little girl ghost who pushed the tape under her bed to Haley Joel Osment,
Hmm.
and this ghost in this movie, who's really the lazier ghost?
The videotape ghost.
No, she's not. At least she like
Yeah,
moved
yeah.
the tape. What did this girl do?
She
Make
unscrewed a light
bathwater
bulb.
cold? Oh my god. So this little girl
Well,
threw up in his tent.
who this? Oh, the
In
Sixth
Sixth
Sense.
Sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember? The little girl threw up in
No,
his tent,
she's
knocked
still
his tent
lazy.
down.
She's still lazy.
She
They,
knocked his
they,
tent down.
that girl was lazy, right? Once again, do we have to reiterate this again? She made that little kid go the whole way across the city to do something she could have done herself, right?
This ghost had Kevin Bacon dig up his whole backyard, his whole basement floor, instead of just telling that little kid, hey, I'm in the wall. And also, there's no digging. You
It's
barely
not.
hit
It's
the
not the.
brick,
It's
and you
not
just
this
pull it out
ghost's
with your
fault.
hands.
That's the little kid's fault.
She's not really a kid.
We've already established that she told him. He just didn't relay the
Okay,
message.
when she's
So
giving
the
Kevin Bacon
kid's
the vision,
bad. The ghost's better. So
when she's giving Kevin Bacon the images, right, and like just randomly showing up the house, why couldn't she point the wall?
she can only do partial visions.
That's late, but when
She never showed in the basement. She couldn't show in the basement because the door was shut. Isn't that the rule? Ghosts can't open doors.
but she was down. She was down in the basement when his wife went down, and she couldn't
But
like do
Kevin
any
Bacon
kind of
wasn't
weird
down
ghost
there.
stuff.
No.
She couldn't give a vision then. Be like,
He had his
or like,
headphones on.
or yell and be like,
He
talk
had
to
his
him through the
headphones on.
headphones.
No, they
Instead,
can't.
here's
Those
where
can't talk through
listen.
headphones. Now you're just making stuff up.
Here's where this.
Oh, so they can't open
listen,
doors, but they can talk through
right.
headphones.
You watch
Okay.
any
All
paranormal
right.
TV show where they're ghost hunters,
Okay.
talk through the
Okay.
headphones, right? Secondly, and excuse you, while she's down in the basement, she does show him a vision. So the basement door's open.
What did she show him a vision of in the basement?
No, nothing. She shows him the vision of like other stupid stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What vision did she show him? Whatever.
It was some. I think it was just like her standing in the doorway and like walking down the street.
That's not her. She showed him the whole vision, but he only
and like
has
her wrapped in plastic.
He only has part of the vision. That's not her fault.
But
Once
she
again, not
could
her
have been
fault.
like she could have been like
she
basement,
can't.
basement wall.
She literally told him the whole message
because
he
she's
can only
lazy.
get pieces of it.
No,
you can only get
She
pieces
didn't say anything. She's
because
lazy.
she couldn't talk. She's a mute ghost. So did
What
she
do you
ever
mean
say one thing in this movie? No, she didn't say anything.
First off, she did say stuff when she was alive.
Right, but not as a ghost. We never heard her
Because
talk.
you know why she didn't talk? Because she was lazy.
No,
Because she literally,
no.
like, this ghost literally did nothing. At least that little girl's like, here's tape, give my dad. I'm throwing up in your thing so you come help me, knocking your tent down. This lazy fucking ghost, right? Was like, I'm gonna make your water cold.
She had some issues, so I mean, right?
Wow.
I'm just saying. That was an established fact. So she
Wow.
didn't understand what was going on. So
That explains why she was staring at that light bulb
yeah,
instead of doing
exactly.
anything useful.
Exactly.
Unlike
So
that
so
little ghost, that little girl ghost.
do you I feel that you may need to examine yourself because you have a certain bias towards a certain type of people. That's all I'm
No,
saying.
listen. You know what I'm
No,
biased
well,
against?
say you're not. Say you're not.
I'll tell
You're
you. I'm
you're
biased.
harassing.
I
You're
am a
harassing
biased
this
against
poor.
lazy ghosts.
She's
No,
not
you
lazy.
can't.
She just didn't understand.
No,
She's not.
I just can't. I sit here, and I sit here, and I cannot let you, that little girl ghost, who her mother murdered with pine saw, was just like can't open the door because that's a ghost rule. At least moves a tape. This ghost does nothing but make some water cold. And you know what that tells people? Absolutely nothing.
Well, like, we all know why. I already said it. She had some problems when she was alive, and those carried over when she was a ghost. So she
I
didn't.
just
She didn't. She didn't fully understand things. She didn't. She didn't know. So I mean, are you implying something? Is that
no. Yeah,
is
I just
that
can't. I can't look at you right now. I just can't. I just can't even like. You say I make up rules. It's made up all these
I'm
rules.
just throwing your rules back at you.
No,
No,
she didn't move anything in this
she
movie, right?
unscrewed the light bulb.
She just looked at it. She
No, she
unscrewed with
unscrewed
her
it. That's
eyes.
how it went dark.
With her
That's
eyes.
why no, that's why it went dark. She reached up and unscrewed the light bulb.
That's really because she wanted someone to hit their head.
Yeah.
You know what that tells people? Nothing.
She thought it was funny. It was a little gag. You
Oh,
know,
it was just gagging, huh?
she's just a young girl ghost.
Just joking around, just
Just
joshing,
joking.
as they
Yeah.
say.
And she said like, "JK, I'm in the basement." That's what she said.
Hey, now I want to show you a vision of nothing that's going to be helpful, and laugh as you dig up every inch of your backyard and your basement floor. Guess what? I'm in neither.
She said dig. So
But
put that in there.
but you know what's weird though? He didn't
What's
have
that?
to dig because she was in the wall,
It's true. It's true.
and also he didn't even need a tool because he barely tapped it with a sledgehammer,
He did.
and the
Yeah. Well, there's
brick
like foam.
fell.
Did they bury her under foam bricks? Like
I
there
don't know,
was.
but like I don't understand. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. She says dig, and she wasn't buried.
She didn't understand. Once again, I think we've already established that she she has some issues and she's some challenges, and that's really the juxta the crux of the issue here. She's a challenged ghost. You gotta have some sympathy, Eli. You're heartless. You're cold.
Wow,
You know.
wow. I just your ability to just turn it around. We've listened to you for 6 weeks. Step on Heath Ledger's grave and dance a little jig.
He's a lazy ghost.
Oh my goodness, he's not. Not even a ghost.
Everybody, you can check us out on Loremasters.
Well, hey, real quick before we
Yeah.
wrap
No, I'm
that
just
up.
saying.
Yeah. You know what? You're a bully, sir. That's what you are. You're a bully.
He's
Um,
lazy, am I right?
I I found a couple IMDb reviews that I thought you might find interesting.
Okay.
These are the 1-star reviews.
Okay.
Now I will say this movie did get quite a few uh
Tens, right?
10 stars, but there's a couple 1-star reviews I thought was kind of interesting.
Okay.
And I am not surprised the conversation went the way that it did. Except for the end there where uh
I what?
become a
Made
ghost
complete rational.
apologist. You are
I
now a
made
ghost
complete.
apologist.
Why is that?
You
Because
know
I'm
exactly
stating
why.
some facts. Is that
A ghost apologist.
I'm just
This
saying.
this review is called Another Cheap Knockoff.
Seems
This
reasonable.
this movie is just another one of those cheap knockoffs of current box office hits. Has anyone else noticed that movies come out in pairs now? There must be some guy in Hollywood who just goes around stealing scripts or something. This movie involves a kid who can see dead people. ... What movie does this sound like? And Kevin Bacon puts out a wanting performance. This knockoff of The Sixth Sense was predictable and not near as good as the real thing.
Yep. I
So
agree. I
people
mean, I
thought that.
can't, you know.
Uh, this one review, I just want to read because I think I don't know who wrote this review, but I think Kevin Bacon must have hurt them at some point because
Upset.
they're upset about Mr. Bacon.
Mm, yep.
The review is called Kevin Bacon is a tease.
Jeez.
Yeah. As
Wow.
as soon as I hit the eject button on the old DVD player, I thought to myself, for the love of Christ in heaven, why the heck did I subject my small town sensibilities to that festering bowl of dog snot? The best part of this film was the funky, trippy soundtrack to the interactive menus. I was totally hoping to see Kevin's massive bacon like in a stellar film Wild Things. I was waiting for a shower scene, but it never came. They're mad and did not like this
Because he
movie
didn't get
because
naked in a movie
because they
about
didn't
ghosts,
see naked Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
about a young girl ghost. What is this
Oh no, they
person?
they wanted to see Kevin Bacon naked.
I'm saying that they in a movie about a young
Uh,
girl ghost
that
like
that
this.
is
Yeah,
that is
that's
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's a little this person's a little much. I think they
Yeah,
need to probably reevaluate themselves.
yeah,
Take a look and
yeah. I don't think they thought
don't
that
agree.
through.
I don't agree with that one. Don't
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
No.
And then the rest of the reviews, the 1-star reviews, are either, which is weird. The majority of these 1-star reviews are either saying this is a Sixth Sense knockoff,
Mhm.
which technically the book was written before the Sixth Sense came
Right.
out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Hmm.
or the other half of the reviews are pretty much all upset with Kevin Bacon
That's weird.
for
Yeah.
either
Yeah.
how he acted in this.
See, I thought he was like I said. I thought he was the out of the steaming pile that was the rest of the cast. I think he was you know what I
Well,
mean, a
like
shining star.
a lot of people are saying that like you could tell he was trying to make this funny and being comedic and it wasn't funny. But like I never got that
Yeah, yeah.
impression that this they were going for a comedy.
Like yeah, at what point what portion of this even remotely says funny? Like I don't,
I didn't see any.
Yep.
Because like I'm like I mean there was like a couple little parts that I think were like more like tension breakers, you know.
Right.
But like
Yeah, but there was nothing I would say was a failed comedy attempt. You know
no,
what I mean? Like,
right, right, and like it's not uncommon for horror movies to have like kind of quippy little one
right,
liners or
right.
funny like you know, but
Comedy tragedy. That's the
yeah,
whole. That's the yin and yang of it. Uh, like
yeah.
don't people if people don't understand that, that makes the horror that much worse because the comedy, cuts through it.
Right. There's just one other review I wanted to. I
Okay.
didn't know if I was going to read this one, but then when you said you think you don't like this and Sixth Sense your thing, I feel like I
Mhm.
have to read this one. This is a 10
Okay.
star review
Oh wow. Yeah.
titled "Much Better Than Sixth Sense."
Oh wow. Yeah, for sure. hmm Kevin Bacon wrote this one.
Well, they go on to say there is an intelligence and honesty to Stir of Echoes that doesn't exist with the Sixth Sense. The entire movie doesn't rest on a singular, easily deductible device either. It took me 30 seconds to realize in The Sixth Sense that Bruce Willis' character was, in fact, a ghost. But
Well, first
Stir of...
off, they're lying.
but in Stir of Echoes, nothing is revealed ahead of its time, which I would argue it most definitely was
Yeah.
when the high schooler shoots himself after they start asking about this girl who went missing.
Yeah, it's literally like,
But I
you
digress.
know, no, like not even that. Like as soon as the kids like that, her sister is saying that boy saw the girl. You know what I mean? You're like,
Mhm.
okay, well, she was definitely killed in that house somewhere. Like 100%. There was no, like
Oh, it gets better.
okay,
There's humanity and sincerity in the relationships, as well as no stereotypical strained single mom slash difficult kid relationship like in The Sixth Sense, but in fact, an honestly written and acted relationship with genuine tensions, joys, and hardships.
no, it's not. It's not.
Here's the part you're really gonna like. Alina Douglas deserves
His
a
wife.
special mention, Nope. That
That's
would be
the.
the one who hypnotized him.
Oh my god.
There's a special mention for and I quote, fantastic performance in a supporting role as usual. What a wonderful, talented actress she is. It deserves to be more widely known. She can act rings around Julia Roberts. She should be what Julia Roberts is now to the world.
That's her mom for sure. Like her mom wrote that because that lady is fucking bad.
Mhm.
Everything I've ever seen her in, she's fucking bad. There's a reason that she is a quote unquote supporting actress because she's fucking dog shit. That's why. Like
Yeah, I didn't know if I was gonna read that one or not. And then
she had like 15 lines and they were all awful. Like
mhm.
everything about her was awful.
Yeah, yeah, sure
Jesus
was.
Christ.
Sure
Yeah.
was. Sure was.
Yeah, that's her mom or dad. Somebody wrote that.
But as soon as I saw that, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
if I read that one. And then
Wow.
you came out, not liking her, and I was like, well, now I gotta read
No,
it.
no, I did not care for her one bit. So
Well, I have to ask Jeff, would you recommend this movie?
if you've seen every other horror movie ever, yeah. Otherwise, you could probably skip it. Just watch The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like if you're a fan of horror or like a big fan of Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
say give it a watch.
Yeah, I mean there are some people that might like it, but yeah, it's not one that I can in good conscience. Once again, it's one of those I wouldn't go out of your way to watch it, like oh well, I feel like watching it for funsies or whatever, but it's not. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
if you got
it's
nothing going
not
on a
great.
Friday night, you're snowed in, TV's
Yeah,
broken, for some reason all you own is a copy of
yeah. If like, this is your only
Stir of
DVD,
Echoes,
that
and you
is
haven't
this
watched it
the
yet.
only DVD that survived the apocalypse, then yeah, you can watch it. But
No, it's not
yeah,
that terrible. Like I said, if you're
no,
into
yeah,
horror, or
like I said,
whatever.
it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's fine, whatever,
Yeah,
but it's definitely subpar. I feel like they kind of missed the mark with this one. So
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. All right, cool. Well, hey, thanks for listening, everybody. Uh, if you enjoyed it, please give us 5 stars wherever you listen to your podcast. If this is on Apple Podcasts, you can leave comments. Tell tell Jeff why he's wrong in his role for being a ghost apologist. You're just racking up them apologist titles. You know that?
well,
Just
I'm
racking
a
them up.
that's because I have empathy for other people and
All
ghosts.
the
So.
wrong things.
No,
Uh,
yeah. Who's really the villain here?
I'm not.
Eli. That's
Listen,
who.
wait. Didn't you
Eli's the
literally
villain.
spend the whole Bloodsport episode defending the villain?
You know what? It's not about defense. It's about rational conversation, Eli.
Oh, is that
If you
what it
want to,
is?
you want to fly off the handle about stuff that doesn't make any sense, and
Oh, and being okay with
it's you,
murder.
hey, there was, I'm just saying. So
Uh,
you were, yeah. So what you're saying is you were okay with this girl getting murdered because she's a lazy ghost. Is that what you're
no,
saying?
I'm
You
not
heard it
saying
here.
that.
You heard it
No,
here
that's
first.
not what I
Those are
said at
right,
all. I
right
was
from
saying in
Eli's mouth.
Bloodsport,
Eli
you were
just said that
defending that guy murdering
that he's
somebody.
okay with this lady
Oh my
being
god.
murdered because she was a
Oh
lazy
my
ghost.
god.
So
I can't even talk to you. Can't even talk to you. Uh Also, like I said, so leave us a review. Also, new episodes drop every Monday wherever you listen to podcasts. We also release episodes for you to watch on YouTube, so you can see the exasperated look on my face trying to talk with Jeff. Uh, the episodes drop on Wednesdays on YouTube, so please find us on YouTube, like, follow,
subscribe.
subscribe, hit the
Hit the little
bell
bell.
for notifications and whatnot. You can leave comments there as well. You can also follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram at Loremasters the Absurd. You can follow me on Instagram at Loremaster Eli. Jeff, they can follow you.
Loremaster Jeff.
Follow him,
You can
Loremaster.
also, I think you can follow Eli's other Instagram account at hates uh people that are good
Oh my
at.
God, no! You know what? I'm gonna try to get that, and just gonna use it as a smear campaign. Be like, hey, you wanna know who the biggest apologist in the world is? This guy. And then if you like our shenanigans here, you can also listen to us on Wicked Wild Campfire's Tale, where we talk about spooky lores and legends and just a big old bowl of shenanigans. I think that's about it. Anything else you want to tell the fine folks?
Eli's wrong. So
Well, that's hurtful. Should we give them a little sneak peek about what's coming next month?
yeah.
Next month, coming up here is April, so we thought we'd do April Fools. So
Mhm.
it should be a fun, good time.
Yeah, I
Um,
think so. Got some good things lined up here. So
yeah. I'll also say keep an eye on our YouTube page because we might be dropping some extra fun stuff on there too.
Mhm.
Maybe if we don't have to apologize too much for it. Uh, but yeah, no, that's everybody. So hey, thanks for listening. And once again, if a ghost visits you at your house and can't tell you she's in the wall in at least 3 words or less, I won't listen to her.
just remember, everybody, don't let Eli kill your dreams.
Wow.
Bye.